What's up YouTube, Saf here on SuperSaf TV, and in this video I'm going to be comparing the cameras of the HTC One M9 to the iPhone 6. I will be looking at both the front and rear facing cameras and that images as well as video too. Do also look out for the audio icon in the corner of the screen, and that will indicate to you which device the audio is coming from too. And I'll be switching between these two throughout the video so you can get an idea of the differences in audio too. So we're currently indoors, we've got good light, and we are filming from the front facing cameras of both devices. We're going to head outside and try a few outdoor shots, and those will be followed by some indoor low light shots too. So do hit that thumbs up button. And let's get straight to it. So now we are outdoors with both devices. We're filming at 1080p. This is the sort of quality difference that you can expect. The weather is pretty bad out here, but hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea in terms of the differences of video outdoors at 1080p. Now the M9 can film at up to 4K, so we're filming at 4K right now on the M9, and that gives you the advantage of cropping in if needed. So that's just something that you have here on the M9 which you don't have on the iPhone 6. We're now indoors and we've got the HTC One M9 and just testing the autofocus. So this is the continuous autofocus, and we are not touching the screen, and it seems to be doing a pretty good job. Same lighting here on the iPhone 6, so we are just testing out the autofocus here. And this is the sort of quality difference that you can expect. The autofocus does seem to be working quite well. So that was the video. Now let's have a look at some images. So we're going to be doing this in the usual SuperSaf TV style, where I'm going to show you both images and then I'm going to reveal which device the images have been taken from. That way you can decide which one you like before being biased by seeing the label. Now we're going to start off initially with some selfies, because that's what most people use their smartphone cameras for, right? Selfies? No, just me? Anyway, looking at these images, the left hand side image straight away I can say it looks much better. You've got a lot more detail on there, it's sharper. The colors are a lot more neutral here as well compared to the right hand side image, which is a little bit more on the yellow side. To do the reveal, we've got the M9 on the left hand side versus the iPhone 6 on the right hand side. I would give the win here to the M9. Now moving on to a low light image. So now this is something that a few of you have asked for. A few of you take low light selfies, I'm not sure why, but anyway. So low light selfies here, right hand side image, I'm going to give the edge to. Colors are much better. There's a lot of grain on the left hand side image as well, and it's also a bit more on the yellower side. That is of the iPhone 6, and we've got the HTC M9 on the right hand side. I think they have done a good job for selfies on the HTC One M9. I definitely have to give it to them there. Now moving on to an outdoor image in a good light. You can see both are very, very nice. You've got some nice shallow depth of field going on here. I prefer the colors a little bit on the left hand side image, but that is going to come down to your personal preference. I think some more of the oranges on those flowers are maintained on the left hand side image. The left hand side image is of the iPhone 6 and the right hand side image is of the HTC One M9. Now the M9 does have a 20 megapixel rear facing camera, so you can crop in much further and get in much tighter into your shots. That's just something to bear in mind. You've got an 8 megapixel camera on the iPhone 6. Now another outdoor image, so we've got some very nice detail on both images here. Colors look very similar to, I'm going to call this one a complete draw. And we've got the HTC One M9 on the left hand side, the iPhone 6 on the right hand side. Now moving on to an outdoor wide shot. Here I like the right hand side image a little bit more. It's brighter but doesn't wash out any details, so you've still got lots of details here in the clouds and things, whereas the left hand side image is looking a little bit too dull. Now I know it was a dull day, but the right hand side image seems to be doing a better job overall. That is of the iPhone 6 versus the M9 on the left hand side. Now an indoor shot in good light. This is just to show you some colors that you may recognize from brands. I prefer the right hand side image here. The colors are a little bit more vibrant and you've got a little bit more contrast here as well. That's the M9, and we've got the iPhone 6 on the left hand side. Now moving on to images in low light. The left hand side image does seem to have a little bit more contrast, but I can see some artifacts. It looks like it's some software thing going on there. If you look on the table, you can see where the light is reflecting. It's not sure really what it's done there, but that does not look natural. It looks like there's been some sharpening done in software, so I'm not liking that. The right hand side image is more natural, and you can see the reflection of the light there is much more neutral and it doesn't look artificial in any way. So I am going to give the edge here to the right hand side image. That is of the iPhone 6. We've got the HTC One M9 on the left hand side. Now finally, I don't like doing this test, but I'm just doing it for the hell of it. This is using the flashes on both cameras. I think the right hand side image is washed out completely. I prefer the left hand side image. The left hand side image is of the iPhone 6. We've got the HTC One M9 on the right hand side. So there we have it, the camera comparison between the iPhone 6 and the HTC One M9. Now overall, in terms of my opinion, I think the front facing camera, the edge goes to the HTC One M9. If you are somebody who likes to take those selfies, then the M9 is a great option. The fact that they've got the ultra pixel camera on the front really helps with the low light. It did blow out some of the highlights in videos, so this is just something to bear in mind. It does work better in images, I think. In terms of the rear facing camera, both did a good job, but I would have to give the edge to the iPhone 6. I think it was a lot more consistent and it did do a better job of colors overall, I think. And also in terms of video, I think the iPhone 6 did do better. I mean, if you look at the low light video that we did earlier on, you can see that the HTC One M9, although it does seem a little bit brighter, it's actually choppy, and the reason for this is that it actually drops the frame rate. I had to look at this in post-production and you can see that the frame rate is dropped down to roughly about 22 frames a second compared to your standard 30 frames a second, just to let in more light. Now I think this is not a really good way of going about things, because it's gonna have inconsistencies in terms of your frame rates and it's gonna give you some choppy videos. I'm not sure why HTC have done this, so I would give the edge to video on the iPhone 6 overall. That's what I think anyway. What do you think? Do drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. I am on Instagram and I post lots of different images from different devices on a regular basis, so if you want to see those, then be sure to give me a follow. I'm at SuperSaf TV. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up, and for me it really does help me out. And why not subscribe to the channel if you haven't already? We've got plenty more content coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time. If you want to see more regular videos like this one, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, which will be below. If you're on a mobile device, it may be somewhere else. If you want to see my previous related video, then hit the link right here. If you want to stay in touch over Facebook, Twitter and Google+, then all of the addresses will be there somewhere, as well as direct links in the description below. Okay, if you're still watching, then that means you've not done one of those things, so, you know. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna go downstairs. See. Okay. There isn't really a downstairs. Anyway. So yeah.